Alright, today we're going to get into the tool inspection app in your Carlton apps. So go ahead and open up your Carlton apps. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see tool inspection. Go ahead and click on it, and it'll pull up your tool inspection app. First thing you're going to be asked to do is go ahead and type your name in. Next, you're going to want to select the quarter in which you are performing this tool inspection. The next line down is actually going to be the tape color of the tape that you're going to be using. If you have any questions about which color to use, you can obviously take a look at this question mark, and it'll pull up the recommendations and show you what you're supposed to be using. So once you do that, just type in the colors that you'll be using. Alright, then you want to click on your inspection area. This is the type of truck that you're working on. If you're doing some inspections in the shop or the heavy duty test truck, you select each one. Then you select your branch. And then now it shows you how to do the proper cord check on your power tools, which is the first tool it comes to. Just make sure that you have everything in there. Make sure the cable's not cut. You can then select which kind of tool that you have. Then want to select the condition of the tool after inspection. Then you want to document your ohms readings. Make sure you don't have any shorts on your ground. Then it gives you the option to do another power tool. Again, if you don't have any power tools, you don't need to. You can skip this step. But this is if you have power tools on your vehicle that you need to keep track of and keep a check on to make sure that they are in safe operating use. Alright, once you've selected all your power tools, you can then go down to your general tools. These are your regular hand tools that you have in your bag. Screwdrivers, wrenches, sockets, Allens, crowbars, etc. Just check to make sure they're not distorted or damaged, or make sure they don't have any cracks or rust or sharp edges. Again, you can click on the question mark if you have a question on what tools fall in that thing. Next would be your general cutting tools. These are your knives, snips, side cutters, anything like that. Make sure that if you have a blade that's retractable, that it doesn't stick or have any issues. Next section you come to is your extension cords. Make sure you have some way of IDing the extension cords that you're checking, and be sure to mark, test the ohms. Make sure you don't have any cuts, any shorts in your extension cords. If you do, make sure that you notify your manager and throw that one away. Discard it, but make sure that you, at the bottom of here, that you list the IDs of the ones that you did remove so we can keep track of that. Next section you'll come to is your slings. Slings are a commonly used item that we use for lifting on weights, putting weights on tanks and hoppers. Want to make sure that we don't have any issues with them whenever you go out to the job. Inspect it every time you use it. Make sure there's no holes, tears, cuts, snags. If anything is ineligible on the ID tag, it needs to be removed. But make sure that you document the IDs and the rating and check to make sure they are in good working condition so that you don't have any issues when you get out to the job site. Again, make sure that you check your slings every time that you use them. Don't just do it just on the tool inspection every month. Make sure that you're doing this on a daily basis when you're using those slings. Again, document any that you take out of service and list the IDs. Next thing you'll come to is your fall harness. Everybody should have a fall harness on their vehicle. Make sure you document the ID on it and the rating, and then whether or not the condition of that is in any kind of issue. Check all your harness straps, everything. Make sure there's no cuts, nicks, any oil buildup or anything like that on it. Next thing you'll come to is your chains. Again, same as the slings. You need to inspect these every time that you use them. Document the rating on the capacity of the chain, as well as the serial number, and then whether or not it needs to be taken out or not. And if it is taken out, make sure you document your ID. Then you want to check your flute meter, make sure the batteries are good, make sure everything's still in working condition, it's clean, you can see it. Same with your simulators, make sure everything's good with it, nothing's broken. Next thing you come to is your jacks. Make sure that your jacks are sufficient enough whenever you use them for the job or the load that you're using them on. Do not use a lesser jack on if it's right near the capacity. I would advise not using that jack because it could cause a blowout. You don't want to have any issues with that. So make sure you document all your jack IDs and what the rated capacity is, and then whether or not they are good to go or any of them need to be removed. Next thing you come down to is your come-alongs or your hoists. You should have a come-along on your truck. We use these a lot on tanks and hoppers. Make sure that you don't have any issues with any of the hooks. If it's bent, if it's missing the latch, or the latch is damaged, do not use it. Take it out of service, inform your manager, and you'll see about getting you a new one. Make sure there's no issues with deformations, anything looks bent, anything on the, check all the links, make sure the links are good, none are stretched or damaged. Just be sure to document the ID that you have on that come along, as well as the rated capacity of that. And again, same as the rest of them, if you have any kind of issues with it, mark it out of service, notify your manager. Next thing you'll come to is your respirator. Make sure that your respirator is clean. This is a very important device that we use in most of our facilities. You don't want to have something wrong with this when you go in to use it. Make sure that it's clean, you don't have any dirt on it. You should be cleaning these after every use. If you have any cracks, tears in the straps, in the actual respirator filters, throw them away, get you a new one, if any kind of issues. Make sure that all your other PPE is clean, essentially like your gloves and your safety glasses and your vest. Make sure there's not dirt all over your vest and it's dirty. Make sure people can still see you and do what it's used for. Check your laptops, your tablets, your phones. Make sure you have no issues with any of them. No cracked screens, anything. If anything's wrong with them, just please notify your supervisor or your OM. Make sure that your backup alarm works. Your test weights, make sure the test weights are in good condition. No chips or anything. If you have dropped it or anything, you see something chip off, make sure you notify your manager because you need to remove that and get them rechecked. Next thing, make sure you have a good, current, up-to-date first aid kit. Make sure nothing's expired. Same with your weight cart. Make sure that your weight cart has, the wheels are good. Make sure you're not overly hard pushing it because your wheels are all gummed up. Just make sure everything's good. If you have a sniffer on your vehicle, most of the time this will be on the heavy duty test truck. Make sure it's working, that it's in good condition. And then lastly, put your email in here so that you receive a copy of this, so that way you can upload this into Verico. If you click the question mark, it'll show you exactly how to upload this to Verico. And then after you insert your email address, you can go ahead and click submit. And that pretty much wraps it up. Again, if you have any questions about this or how anything needs to be done, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you for watching.